gentlemen, good evening. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. Hello. There's nothing to talk about, really, is there? It's been a quiet few days in regards to news at Celtic Football Club, stories, rumours, whatever. The international break is slowly coming to an end. It's probably been one of the most boring international breaks in recent memory. You know, nothing really to play for in this international break, even for Scotland, who do play tonight at 7:45 kick-off against Norway at Hampden. If you're not there and you're sitting at home waiting for that game, well, here's a wee bit of company for you until that game kicks off. I won't be watching it. Just got to be brutally honest about it. I couldn't give two, you know. Scotland already qualified, of course. They're through to the Euros next summer in Germany. Congratulations to them. Can't wait. Another international tournament, one that I'll get to glory hunt for. But until then, you know, international football can take a hike, in my opinion. I just want the club football back. I want it back. I want it back dearly. And of course, Celtic return to Lennoxtown. Well, the full side will return to Lennoxtown over the coming days. And then Saturday, we're back in action as we take on Motherwell at Celtic Park. So we will be building up towards that game. We have Lazio following that, of course, in the Champions League on the Wednesday night, the Tuesday night. So, you know, a big few games coming up for Celtic. I mean, the fixture list for Celtic over the next month is unbelievable. 38 days. We'll have 11 games inside those 38 days. So just to run through them very quickly. And then we'll come on to talking about a couple of things, mostly a Q&A sort of stream tonight. I want to get your questions and your conversation. Thank you for tuning in, by the way. Over 100 of you here, which is nuts, because I expected about 20 with the very little conversation at hand. I think more people will probably be interested in the turning on of the Christmas lights in George Square than they will this live stream tonight. And that's the flick of a switch for a set of lights. So thank you if you've tuned in. Hello to everybody saying hello. But Celtic's next, month is insane. So 38 days... We'll have 11 games, which goes as follows, and I'm going to run through it very quickly. Motherwell at home on the 25th of November. 28th of November, we've got Lazio away. 3rd of December, St Johnstone away. 6th of December, Hibs at home. 10th of December, Kilmarnock away. 13th of December, Feyenoord at home. 16th of December, Hearts at home. 23rd, then we've got a week break, which will be the first week break in quite a while, it feels like. Got a week break, and we take on Livingston at home on the 23rd of December, right before Christmas. Then on Boxing Day, we have Dundee away. And then the 30th of December, of course, we've got that massive game against Rangers at Celtic Park, a derby right before the bells. And the first game of 2024 will be on the 2nd of January, when we take on St Mirren away, 5 PM kickoff that day. So a very busy month coming up for Celtic to wrap up November, then right into December, before that January winter break. We are playing thick and fast. It's going to be a very testing schedule for Celtic, a very tough schedule. And hopefully by the end of it, we are still at 8 points clear, or hopefully more. And we've also got a chance to extend the lead with a game against Rangers in there. But it's going to be a very tough 6 weeks for Celtic. And hopefully we all just keep the heat through it. I hope that's the main thing for me. As Cal said, that would be nice. Where's Cal? Let me get his comment up. Where are you, Cal? 33 out of 33 points. That would be lovely. Absolutely. Let's hope so. But listen, I just hope we all keep the heat through that month's time and that 6 weeks time. Hopefully we get some decent football. But out of those games, when it comes to televised, you obviously get the 2 games in the Champions League. And we're going to get games televised against St Johnstone, Kilmarnock, Dundee, St Mirren, and of course Rangers. They'll be on the television, all away games, and then obviously the home games at the 3 o'clock will be part of the blackout. So it's a very busy 6 weeks for Celtic, and obviously keep up with me in the channel, like and subscribe, and you'll get the match previews and the match reactions for all 16, it's not 16, it's 11, for all 11 games, and we'll get through it together. So nice to see you, hello, it's good to see you all. Somebody left a really nice comment. Jacobite, thank you, Ryan, for your content for the years. Hail, hail. I appreciate that. Appreciate you all tuning in the night like this. So, what is there to talk about? Well, you see in the thumbnail that I had Marco Tilio in there. If I'm going to share my screen now, there has been a very rare Marco Tilio appearance. Marco Tilio is alive. And before we get into a Q&A and just talk about random nonsense and talk about anything Celtic related that we can, we're going to talk about this. Marco Tilio is alive. Is it a sign of things to come? Will he be one of these players who gets a run out over the next 11 games when we've got a very tough schedule? Will we finally see him in a Celtic shirt? Will Brendan Rodgers think he's ready? I don't know. But he's been spotted, as you can see by the headline. Marco Tilio played his first game in almost 2 months. for the Australian under-23s against Qatar on Saturday. I never knew that they had their own nickname. It's in here somewhere. Is it the Olyroos? The Olyroos. So Marco Tilio did play. He came on, I think. I think he played it was a very brief cameo in the game. But Marco Tilio, long-awaited return from injury. He has returned. He's been sidelined since July. So he came into Celtic. We heard, a number of good things about Marco Tilio. I think a lot of people from Australia especially told us how this boy was a good player and how we were getting something special. But he's not made one senior appearance for the club. Only one appearance in general. It was for the B team against Ayr United 2 months ago. And we've never seen him anywhere near the first team since. He's never been on the bench. Will this next run of games for Celtic allow the opportunity for Tilio to come in? Of course, Dyson Maeda and Leah Labad are both out until January, so there is a gap to fill. There is depth needed. Will we finally get a look at him? I felt really bad for Marco Tilio because he's came in a summer which has been heavily scrutinised by the Celtic support. A summer where a lot of people just weren't exactly happy with the recruitment and the players that we signed. A lot of people thinking that it was too bargain hunt kind of situation. We were just going for these cheap project signings. Marco Tilio subject to that same sort of label, and he's not even had the opportunity. So that's where I feel bad for him. He's not had the opportunity to turn around and say, listen, I'm not a project player. I'm here to make an impact. I'm somebody that's going to improve Celtic. He's not had that opportunity to do that. And I hope he gets that opportunity soon. Now, there's obviously the big question mark that surrounds it as to whether or not he is ready for that opportunity, because he's been nowhere near the squad, mostly down to injury. But Brendan Rodgers obviously isn't going to just throw him in there for the sake of it. He needs to show in Lennoxtown, he needs to show in training that he's a player who's going to add quality to the Celtic side, who's going to make us better as a team. And does Brendan Rodgers see that out of him? We don't really know, because as little as we've seen of Marco Tilio, I say little, we've not seen him, but we've not even heard a lot about him. All we've had is the injury updates. It's not like Brendan Rodgers has given any sort of glowing reports about his progress or his ability. It's not like any press conferences if they dive into the player himself, or the Celtic haven't put any content about him. We're really just going off of hopes and prayers, really, that he's somebody who can add quality to our side. So, yeah, I guess we'll wait and see what happens over the next few weeks. But he is back playing football, which, listen, if we don't see Marco Tilio anywhere near the Celtic side between now and New Year, I think that we'll know everything that we need to know. He'll probably be somebody who never gets in it. It'll be a very Daniel Arzani-like, won't it? We'll probably never ever see him. Because if he doesn't get a run in these fixtures, or he doesn't even get off the bench or on the bench, and he's playing football, he's obviously fine to play. If he's played in this game for the Australian under-23s, if he's nowhere to be seen, I think that'll be a damning indictment of where he is in the pecking order, and I don't think he'll have a very long future at Celtic. But it's very early to tell, because this is him just back. This is him returning now, so we'll see how Celtic react to that in the coming days, or the coming weeks, I should say, and whether or not he'll be involved. Obviously, an opportunity against Motherwell at Celtic Park to maybe get him off the bench and get some minutes in his legs, just depending how the game goes. If it's anything like Aberdeen, if we're 3-0 up at any point of the game, that's a chance for Tilly to come on. Will he get that chance? We'll just have to wait and see. I love this. I mean, this is the height of professionalism on this channel, isn't it? Lovely big Bobby. Nice. Carl saying I've heard that his attitude isn't very good. I can't say I've heard anything about his attitude personally, but I mean, it's not very good if you hear rumours like that. But listen, we won't know until we see something of him. Hopefully his attitude is good. Just have to wait and see. So anyway, we've had a sighting of Marco Tilio playing football, which is something I genuinely thought we were never going to see. So yeah, apart from that, I mean, there's nothing really happening. I mean, I've got Google up, I've got all the Celtic fan media websites up, I've got, there's no stories. You go on Twitter, you look up Celtic. That was my ma sneezing, by the way. I don't know if you heard that. It was loud. Jesus. But my God, like, I'm just, if I Google Celtic if I search Celtic into Twitter, by the way, there is absolutely nothing at this moment in time. Did we all see the Christmas advert? That was fun. That was nice. I'm sitting throwing a vape about. I don't know if any of you noticed that. There's nothing. Of course, two Scotland players tonight. Two Celtic players starting for Scotland tonight. Greg Taylor and Cal McGregor. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing. That's why I wanted to go live. Let's just take some questions. Let's get some answers. It can be about absolutely anything for 20 minutes or so. But there's nothing. There is nothing. Lewis Palma, cracking assist for him in the Honduras game. looks an absolute cracking signing. I look at a really good player. There's nothing to talk about. So let's Q&A it. Let's Q&A it. I've got dirty specs. There we go. Let's Q&A it. Any news on GB? Oh, Green Brigade. I thought you meant Great Britain. I was like, don't think so. Apart from the fact that we're fucked. But thank you to Sean for the $2 saying, who or why did we sign Tilio? I don't know. We'll never know. We'll never really know. I wonder if it was more intended for the Ange Postecoglou management than Brendan Rodgers. But hey ho. I mean, he's here, so we'll see if he ever has an impact. Thank you to Ian, by the way. Evening, Ryan. Are you as bored as I am? Oh, yes, incredibly bored. It's been a boring week. I hate not having anything to talk about. It's really tasting. It tastes your character. And I hate playing FIFA. I need to get back on the FM. I've got FM now, and I'm loving it. So I need to get an FM series in the second channel or streaming on Twitch or something because it's been fun. I'm enjoying it. Thank you for the £5, Ian. I really do appreciate it. And I hope I'm helping you through your boredom. Because I feel like I'm boring myself sitting here talking, to be honest. So I hope I'm helping. I don't feel like I am. Right, let's get a Q&A going. I want your questions and I'll give you answers. It could be... Let's try and keep it Celtic related, of course, but I mean, just throw in anything, I suppose. In terms of the Green Brigade update, somebody did ask. I have nothing. Thank you to Daniel, by the way, who also donates a £5. This helps during international breaks, I must say. Viewership's down. Free Quan. I don't think we're going to see him freed anytime soon, Daniel. Not to be saddening, or I don't want to get your spirits down, but I just have a slight feeling he's not going to be freed anytime soon. Do you think we need a goalkeeper, Ryan? Just a little question. Yeah, we do need a goalkeeper. I think January will be interesting to see if we address that or if we wait until the summer. Obviously, there is all the talk about Lunin, of course, leaving Real Madrid and Celtic being interested. See if that goes any further when January hits. But no, I would say that the goalkeeping area is obviously one that we do need to address sometime soon. Joe Hart's contract expires at the end of the season. I have a feeling the way it's going that he might go. I don't know. I think that if we were to extend it by a year, would maybe hear talk of that by now. I'm not going to speculate. He's going, I love Joe. You know me. I mean, he's up there. I love Joe. And I'd love him to stay as a backup option. It's whether or not Joe wants to be a backup option. He's only got a few years left in his career. He might want to play. He might get a chance somewhere in England, the Championship or something. So he might want to move on. But yeah, the goalkeeping area is one that we, of course, need to address. Scales looked great against Holland. I watched that game last night, actually, and I must say Scales looked pretty decent. Ireland are just hopeless at the minute, although, aren't they? No offence to any of the Irish viewers, but I know you all agree Stephen Kenny's leadership is getting tedious. So Ireland are a bit of a painful watch at the minute. So, but aye. Any news on Lunin? No, the last update was that he wants away. I mean, the last update we had is that Celtic were interested. They monitored the situation in the summer. They didn't want to let him go in the summer because Courtois and Kepa sustained injuries. They needed to keep him around. He has played a couple of games recently, but he does want to leave, apparently. Will Celtic be the destination, though? It's a completely different situation, isn't it? A completely different story. Who's your wingers next Tuesday? Yang and MJ Forrest. I don't want to think about it, Cal, if I'm being quite honest. I really don't. If it was up to me, I would change formation, but I know that won't happen. I would play with Kyogo and O up front and just sacrifice the wingers. But I know that won't happen. Yang will start. Obviously, Palma suspended. Maida injured / suspended. I'd probably go Yang and Forrest, to be honest, which is just minging, isn't it? It's just minging. But I mean, there's no really any better situation for it. As I said, if Brendan Rodgers considered changing, I mean, you could always put Kyogo out on the left. He used to play in the left. You could put Yang on the right, Kyogo on the left, and play O through the middle. Once again, do I see him doing that? I don't think so. I've not seen the Ryan Kent rumours, although I did hear he was linked with a Scottish club. It's obviously Rangers, isn't it? Isn't it? I mean, it's never going to be Celtic. Plus, he's shite. I would rather play myself on the left wing than Ryan Kent. He's rotten. I see. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to skip your question. If you just keep putting questions in, and I'll try and come to them if they're sensible. Let's see. Have you noticed Celtic are now wearing last season's socks? Are they? I've never. Are they? Right. Hold on. What was their last game? Aberdeen. I'm going to look up Celtic versus Aberdeen. I need to see this. Is that right? Oh, no, that's an old photo. Tools time last month. Celtic versus Aberdeen. Oh, aye! So they are. Aye, and there's a champ. Oh, here, by the way, that's a very, very well. Well, wow. Why is this interesting me so much? What an observation. Yeah. So they are. Look. All white. Wow. So how long have they been doing that? Shouldn't be interesting me. Look, there's the Aberdeen game. White socks. Okay. Because obviously, if we go Celtic kit 23-24. Wow, I can't believe this. This is international breaks for you. We're analysing socks. This is the international break. So when did they start doing that? Why is there no photos of like the full kit coming up? Like with the socks. Celtic kit socks. Wow. So this is the socks they're meant to be wearing. These ones here. With the stained glass thing in the middle. And they've not been wearing them. Wow. Why is this blowing me away? God. Somebody's saying, Nick's saying it's apparently an issue with the tightness of them. A few Adidas sponsor clubs are having issues. Right, I know we're analysing socks. Oh my God. There you go. So Miles says, actually, I just remembered a few clubs are doing it because they're restrictive for players, right? Because I know obviously in football nowadays, you always see it in like England, players always rip the back of their socks and there's big holes on them. And it's something to do with restrictiveness and stuff like that. And so that makes sense. But wow, I would never have noticed that. I would never have noticed that in a million years. Well done. Thank you to Miles on the corner for pointing that out. I'm going to go down the chat a little bit. So if I've missed your question, just feel free. Keep spamming your question. And we're going to be live for another 15 minutes or so. 13 minutes, I'd say. We usually try and round it to half an hour. We've been on for 17 minutes. So just keep going. I'm going to bring up TJ's comments. I've seen a lot of people have been talking about this. Would you buy Shankland in January? I think he would be an absolute bargain and would do well for a few years. He would come on and score and let Kyogo rest. Plus, he's homegrown. Now, this is the thing. For me, Lawrence Shankland has always seemed Rangers bound. You know, I feel like he's been somebody that Rangers fans have spoke about for a long time. And I just feel like he's always been destined to go there. Would I go in for him? He's not the most, he's not the most glamorous name in the world. You know, I'm not like desperate to sign Lawrence Shankland, but listen, he does know how to score goals. He does add to the striking department. He's scored for Scotland now. He's definitely not the worst shout in the world. I tell you that. This season he's got 5 goals in 12 games. Last season he got 21 goals in the league. He also tried his luck over in Belgium as well. Didn't really work out from there. 5 goals in 26 games. I'm not daft on it, but I'm not exactly against it. The only thing is, you see here to be a bargain. I think Hearts would try and milk it big time. I think Hearts. He's on contract till 2025, which means he only does have, 1.5 years left. That's not actually that much, actually. Who knows? Who knows? He's definitely off. He'll be somewhere. There won't be Hearts. Maybe in January. Definitely in the summer he'll be away. Somebody will pick him up. Will it be Celtic? Will it be Rangers? I don't know. But listen, I wouldn't actively want him. But I mean, once again, there has been worse shouts. And he does know how to find the net. So careful with the search history, Ryan. Don't worry. Incognito mode, my friend. Incognito mode. I'm joking. There's nothing. I've just dug myself a hole there, haven't I? Ryan, do you think Palma is the best new Palma? What? He's the only fucking Palma, is he not? I love Palma. Cal says absolutely not. If we want to improve in Europe, we need somebody better than Shankland. That's how I look at it, to be honest. That's how I look at it. It's like, people are very quick to jump on us. Right, this is what I don't understand. I'm like, people are very quick to jump on us going for bargain signings anywhere else, but then when it's somebody in Scotland, they're like, I'm like, well, it's kind of same pond, isn't it? It's a bargain signing. I want us to sign somebody big. I mean, but it's just hard, isn't it? It's really hard. Once again, I don't think it'll happen. I think Celtic are more ambitious than Lawrence Shankland. I really do. And you can argue that. I know you can, but I think they are. Helen, hello, nice to see you, always in the streams. Talk that Jota wants to come back to Celtic and he regrets moving to Saudi Arabia. What do you think? Well, I've seen the comments midweek that he said he regrets leaving Celtic. Do I think that automatically means that he's got to come back to Celtic? No, I don't think so. However, is there any harm in asking the question? No, absolutely not. Get the question asked in January. You know, if it's a loan move, if it's a permanent move, if it's a loan move with an option to buy, ask the question. If you get told that you don't ask, you don't get. And if he was happy to come back here and it was one of his best options on the table, you may as well ask it. Because he's a player of significant quality. Imagine Jota on the right and Palma on the left. Holy moly. I'm horny thinking about that. Ask the question in January. If they say no, they say no. If he says no, he says no. But I did see the quote saying that he regretted leaving Celtic. So we'll just need to wait and see. But I wouldn't... I said this about Jota all year. Don't raise your expectations. Don't expect him to come back. Don't let yourself get hurt if he goes to, I don't know, Italy or Turkey or another league. There's no guarantee that he'll come back to Celtic. But, I mean, if there's an opportunity or a world where he can, then we may as well ask the questions. Because, yeah, I would love that. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I think he's the new Jota. Look, listen, he's his own man. He's his own man. Lewis Palma is Lewis Palma. Nobody's Jota and nobody's Palma. That's the way that I'm putting it. But he's been a cracking replacement, I'll tell you that. Let's see. What's this? Oh, I've got a quiz question from Sean. I like a good quiz question. What former Celt had over 590 league appearances but only got one Scotland cap? Other club, what former? There was a few like that in the 60s. Like, I know Jim Craig had I think Jim Craig had something like one Scotland cap. Let me look. Jim Craig, Celtic. Jimmy Johnson didn't have an awful lot of Scotland. Jim Craig had one Scotland cap in his career. Because Celtic were really I think Ronnie Simpson. I don't know about Ronnie Simpson actually. I'm going Ronnie Simpson. How many caps did he get for Scotland? Ronnie Simpson got 5. You know, that's what I mean. A lot of the Lisbon Lions in the 60s, a lot of Celtic players didn't get into. So I want to know what your answer is. I don't know what it is. It's not Jim Craig, because Jim Craig didn't make that many appearances. But, you know, a lot of players were like that. You know, a lot of Celtic players have been, you know, rejected from the Scottish national team. My dad never shuts up about it, especially in the 60s and 70s. Let's see. Question. I've done to scroll down the chat. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point from Lubo. Is that Walter White? What's that photo, by the way? That's a cracker. Walter White in the pint in the Celtic. Is that that was like Merchant City or something? That's a cracker. I'm more interested in the photo than the motherfucking question. Talking about Jota though, honestly, couldn't go through the heartbreak again of him leaving again, so don't bother. You know what? Cal says we need a marquee signing. I know we all said we didn't need one in the summer, but when I watched that 6th goal scored in Madrid, my mind was changed. I know that night was really hot. Obviously, I bumped into you in Madrid before the game when we were young and full of hope, Cal, on the Monday night, and I bumped into you. But yeah, watching that scudding made you think, yeah, we need experience in the team. We do, and I think it's more on the spine of the team than anywhere. Like, we just need, you know, guys that have been there and done that and know how to do the nitty gritty. And we don't have an awful lot of that at the minute. So, new podcast maybe, hopefully this week. Yes, hopefully we're filming on Thursday. I need to rally the boys round. Ryan, fun fact, my uncle Evan played for Celtic. Evan Williams. Oh, interesting. I know a couple of people who've had relatives that played for Celtic. Yeah, I've people. One of my best mates is a McCluskey, obviously a very famous McCluskey that played for Celtic. I think you can put 2 and 2 together. I know a couple, but nice, interesting fact. What are plans for episode 100 of the podcast? Honestly, Lubo, there's nothing spectacular planned. There's not. We wanted to do a live show, but I think we're going to save it for the end of the year. So think of that as our episode 100. If we don't do it for 100, we're going to try and do something special. We just need to gauge people who would come. We want to put on something live, but we don't want to do it if 10 people buy tickets and then we're left looking like fucking idiots. You know what I mean? We need to make sure there's people going to come. They're going to pay, you know, a cheap fee for a ticket, goes to charity, and we have a cracking night. We all get pissed. We sing songs. And we get caught saying things. I'm joking though, but like I want to do something like that. Clue, right? Okay, this is following on from Sean's. Clue, he was pivotal in Strachan's first season. 1 cap for Scotland, 590 appearances. Strachan's first season. Oh God, I was 6 in Strachan's first season. I don't remember it all that well. I remember Strachan's second, third season, fourth season. Don't really remember his first that well. Who was there? Scottish. 590. I can't even. The thing that stumped me is 590 appearances in their career. Like, can't think about somebody that was around that long. Scottish. I don't know if I can. I was going to say Stephen Presley. He wasn't there until like 2008 at Celtic, was he? I don't know. My answer is I don't know, Sean. I cannot think. Let's see. Jota and Palma in the Champions League would be class and would do us good. Yep, they just, as I said, it makes me horny. It makes me horny thinking about it. It's a wonderful thought, Jota and Palma in the same team. The flair on each wing would just be, would be ridiculous. Then obviously you've got players like Abad and Maida who can come in and out, bringing the pace to the team. And yeah, would be lovely. Would be lovely. Not going to lie, I've never been impressed that much by Toby Oluwayemi, not to the point where I think he should be. I think he's got a long way in development. I'm not saying he's never, nothing like that. Good lad and young and obviously ambitious, and there's definitely talents there, but I think that, there's a difference between throwing somebody in. I've done it again. I pressed the Look, what was your question? I feel bad. I've still not answered it. The chat's flying that fast. Sorry, I knocked myself off there. There's wee buttons on the side of my mouse, and I was away. I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's move on, because we've only got about 5 minutes left, so I want to get through as many as I can. Your thoughts on Adidas putting the trefoil on the third kits next season? Is that a thing? Is that happening? I wouldn't mind that. I like the trefoil, if that's how you see it. I like it. I like that logo, and it's different, isn't it? Well, there we go. Will you be watching Survivor Series? Yes, I will be. CM Punk. Paul Telfer. Aye, Paul Telfer. God. 500 odd appearances. Whew. He didn't come to mind, because I didn't expect Paul Telfer to have many caps for Scotland anyway, so he didn't come straight to my mind. But yeah, aye. What player was born in 1956 and died in New Year's 2023? I don't know. Who did die in New Year? It's a bit morbid. It's a bit morbid, isn't it? I don't know. I can't think. Who did die? You tell me. Happening, Kane. Nice to see you. Score prediction for Scotland. It's not a very good team of fielding, is it? Why is Jacob Brown starting over Shanklin, by the way? What's that about? I don't know. I'll go 1 each. There's ambition. A 1-1 draw. Lovely. You know me, Scotland daft me. Aye. Right, let's go for 3 more questions. I've got over 200 viewers. Thank you very much for tuning into this, by the way. And thank you for everybody who's donated tonight. It's very much appreciated, because obviously slow times during these. Frank McGarvey, is that the answer? How much would I pay for Starfelt's OnlyFans? What a weird question, Daniel. What a weird question. I'm even going to justify it with an answer. I think I all know the answer. Nothing. It should be a free account. God, wait, it was just turning into a quiz night. You scored the opener against PSG away with Dembele. I remember that. Because I was fucking going off my nut. Like you said, the board need to get their act together and stop siding players and just hoping for the best. When do we know we can compete against big teams and have project players? Yeah, the board need to just get their fucking hand in their pocket. The money's there. I mean, I know it's difficult. But some of these questions tonight, fucking hell, Marquee Player Network, you can all see it in there. I'm not bringing it up on the screen. 24. That's obviously a joke. God, would be like a pepperami by the time I was done. Just before you go off, I want you to say thank you for being the best. RJ, I love it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully more content throughout the week. And as I said, I've got FM now and I want to get playing it. So I want to get that second channel up and running. I want to get back on Twitch or something like that. Would you sign someone like a Patson Daka? I never remember watching Patson Daka and think he was good. So I would say no. Someone like that, I mean, I'm guessing that means fast. But I don't have any opinions on Patson Daka individually. Lol. Yeah, exactly. New heated driveway. Oh, yes. Got to get that in, Pete. Got to get that in. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there for this evening, ladies and gents. Obviously, trying my best to get us through that international. Do you know what? One last question before we go. What's my favourite pint? Ooh. Do you know what's really nice? And if you've never tried it, you should try it. Paulaner München is a lovely beer. It is a lovely, lovely beer. Aye. Also, this, by the way, Mac, you know what, I'll talk about this very quickly, because a lot of people won't get this before I go off. He said you should set up an alternative donation option. YouTube takes too much of a cut. It does, right? You donate money to me, and I get, I think I get 70% of a donation. I think, so if you donate £100, I'd get £70. Just putting it, but if you donated £10, I'd get £7. I think that's the split you get. I think you get 70% of the donation, 30% if it goes to YouTube. So yeah, I get that, set up an all one. But one thing that I have been eager to do on this channel, and thank you, by the way, Mac, for the donation. I'm not even saying thank you. Thank you for the donation. I really do appreciate it. Every little helps for me. You know, donations are massive. Donations are probably one of the biggest parts of how I can do this full time. When I get Twitch back up and running, I'll obviously have a way for people to donate if they want to donate. There's a subscription service. But people have always said to me, Ryan, set up a Patreon or put a channel membership thing on. I've always been, and I will always stand by this as much as I can until I'm forced, until there's a day where I'm maybe forced to do it for whatever reason, one reason or another. I don't want to take money off of people. Donations are choices. I never want to charge people for content. I don't want to put anything behind a paywall. It's just something that I've stood by since I started YouTube. I don't like the idea of putting content behind a paywall. No matter how much effort I'm putting into it, the whole point in what I do for you is it's free. I always say it, subscribe. That helps me, and it's free. And I don't like the idea of taking money off people. I really don't. And people donate, I appreciate it so much, but that's a choice. Not everybody donates, and it's a choice. We are living in a world right now where people can't afford to pay their fucking heating. And that, for me, is shocking. And that's why I don't like seeing people having to pay for anything. I want to make all my content absolutely free. I'll never, ever want to set up a channel membership until I'm maybe forced to, for whatever reason. So, I get it. Yeah, I probably should set up another means of donations, but this is the simplest way. If I set up an outside way of doing it, you know, I don't know how much if I cut that would take, and links and all that. It's simple for people who want to do it through the YouTube stuff, you know what I mean? So, aye, but thank you, Mac. I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed my wee sort of rant there. Anyway, that's where I want to end off tonight's stream. We've went for 32 minutes, so I'll keep it short for anybody who wants to watch it back. However, we'll probably do another one of these through the week before Celtic get back into action Saturday. So if you've got any more questions or you think of anything that you want to ask, you can ask it then. Obviously, I hope that there is some news as well over the next few days that we can talk about on the channel. So yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. It is much appreciated. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope you enjoyed Scotland game if you're watching it. But for me, that's me tonight. Hail, hail. And hopefully seeing the channel tomorrow. So God bless. See you later.